इतना कितना है, इतना है या इतना है, जो नापेगा वो जाने कि जहां धरती और आसमान मिलते हैं, नानपुर से दूर, अगर मगर शायद से दूर, वहां भी दोनों में फर्क बस इतना सा है। धरती और सातवें आसमान में फर्क बस इतना सा है। ये एक अंतर प्रेरणा है। ये हमारी, आपकी, हम सब की अंतर प्रेरणा है। एक कदम, एक छलांग, एक बाजी, एक गहरी सांस और एक ललकार खुली हवाओं में कि हाँ, मैं बना हूं उन फिजाओं के लिए, कि हाँ, मैं बना हूं उन ऊंचाइयों के लिए जो ऊंची तो बहुत हैं पर नामुमकिन भी नहीं, क्योंकि मुमकिन और नामुमकिन में बस इतना सा फर्क है। धूप छांव में फर्क बस इतना सा है। तो बस चलिए फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया के साथ ये फर्क मिटा देते हैं। फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया।
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us on this webinar of Business Opportunity Over Chai. Business Opportunity Over Chai is presented by the management of Franchise India with an aim to introduce you to the new business opportunity every day at 12 o'clock. In 2024, we continue to introduce you to new brands and new business opportunities. Today, we are going to introduce you to a brand from F&B category. But before I introduce about the brand, let me just run you through the Q&A process. If you have any questions during the webinar, please type your questions in the Q&A box. We will take up all your questions post brand presentations. While we run you through the presentations and brand details, request you to keep sharing your queries into the Q&A box. Make this session more interactive. Our today's brand is Cheelizza. Cheelizza is Mumbai's go-to 100% pure veg pizzeria, revolutionizing the QSR scene with top-notch quality, unbeatable prices, and a passionate team. Cheelizza is looking to reach out to larger audiences by opening stores, franchising across all cities with high footfalls. We have Mr. Ajay Patil from the brand. Along with it, we have Mr. Jitendra on this call, who is heading this brand from the Pune region. Uh, I invite Mr. Ajay Patil to share about the insight about the brand.
Thank you, Sandeep ji. Hi, everyone. So I guess there will be, I'll just share initially and you guys can keep on posting your questions. Let me quickly share the brand details. Is my screen visible to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Just if I can get a thumbs up. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
Sandeep is saying thumbs up. Yeah. Perfect. Right. So good morning, everyone. We are Cheelizza Pizza. We are around 10 plus years in operations and we are a pure veg pizza brand. We are actually, in fact, India's first pure veg pizza brand. We are currently present in 4 cities with 25 outlets. The 4 cities include Mumbai, Pune, Rajkot, and Vadodara. We've got a great plan laid out, a financial plan laid out for franchise partners, which I will share with you in some. And we also are now prepared, being a 10-year-old brand, we are already prepared with giving the right amount of support as we have our own 25 outlets in different geographies, which we have tried and tested and operated already. So that gives us confidence to make sure that our franchises also get similar support. Going on. So basically, we are a Mumbai-based brand, and we started our pizzas, around 12 years back, and there has been a great response because we being pure veg for all vegetarians becomes a huge trust factor, and that is really the core of the brand. To build that trust and ensure that that repeat business or trial also happens, because that is something that we think is missing in the market. Our vision is to become India's first choice vegetarian brand and take India ka pizza to every corner of India, which is why we are looking at for franchise partners for faster growth. We've managed 25 stores on our own. Now we think that it's about time that we got partners involved and build the business further. We are delivering. So if you look at our ratings, we are about 4.1 across our stores. With 1.7 lakh reviews, which actually is a decent milestone if you compare to a lot of brands that are out there in the market. Right. So our proposition basically is we are a pure vegetarian brand. Our menu basically includes pizzas, pastas, garlic breads. We have a special pizza called the fondue pizza, which comes in a form that you can dip it into cheese sauce and have it like a hot fondue. We serve hot cheese sauce with that. We serve nachos. We have a lot of small bites as well. We do a lot of desserts, cheesecakes, brownies. We've got mocktails that we sell, and we've also made combos which most of the pizza chains do, because it's a value conscious customer. So we are 360 degrees vegetarian. What does that mean actually? What that means really is that there is no from our sourcing to our customer, okay, there is no possibility of any non-vegetarian product to come in close contact with our product, because from the time we source, in our kitchen, in our central kitchen, in our office, we completely ensure that even the staff is not indulging in anything that is non-vegetarian, and that is because we have the ethos. It is not a compulsion, but that is the ethos that we follow. So that is how we are. We are managing that. We are trying to build that trust with the consumer, because I think for a vegetarian consumer, the biggest problem is the trust when he orders from outside. Tasty indulgence at pocket friendly prices. Our pizzas typically, we call ourselves Cheelizza, India ka pizza, and the reason is that we are that little bit more spicy, a little bit more sour, a little bit more sweet, which typically works with the Indian consumer. We are catering to the masses, and a lot of people typically, when they are eating outside, typically want to indulge in great flavors. So they want more. What do you say, chatakness to their meal per se. So we are Indian flavors blended into the American pan pizza. We do freshly tossed pastas, by the way, which most of the QSRs don't. And because of that, we actually have certificates from Swiggy and Zomato stating that we have sold the highest number of pizzas and pasta, highest number of pastas in Mumbai. And basically, that has worked really well for us. A Pink Panther pasta is a big hit. Again, because it's freshly tossed, the flavor profile changes a lot. It is not mushy, it is nice and al dente, as they call it in pastas. Okay. We also have an app of our own which helps the consumer gain more discounts and cashback benefits through the app, if they register and order through the app. So that also we have from a consumer perspective. Now, as I said, 25 company-owned outlets, which typically we have just opened over the last. So we were 7 outlets till 3 years, 2.5 years back, and now we are 25. So we've been able to scale at a certain pace, and the entire attempt was to try and figure out the nuances of opening in new geographies, and we spent a lot of time there to build the operational processes, to build the hiring processes, to build the training processes, to really go out and franchise. And that's why we are now ready fully to go out there and support individuals who want to have a business of their own and build it further. So the model is a QSR model. We look at around 750 to 1,000 square feet. That is including the dine-in area. And the initial investment is INR 45 lakhs or a little lesser, depending on the size of the store. I'll share the financials in some. The brand fee is basically 5 lakhs plus GST, which comes to 5.9 lakhs. The royalty we charge is 5% plus GST, on the net sales. The average annual ROI is basically more than 100%. And the payback period, you can look at 21 to 24 months, payback. The agreement period is for 5 years. Who are the partners we are looking for? So more than the what the bubbles say, I think we are looking for people who want to make, who have a passion for food, and who have a passion for business as well, who want to make the business work. Because it's a very symbiotic relationship when you talk about franchisees. Because unless the franchisee grows, the brand doesn't, and unless the brand grows, the franchisee doesn't. So we need someone who really believes in making a strong business and building a strong income for himself. So part timer, we would not, someone who's doing it just part time and doesn't want to put their heart in, is not someone that we're looking for. For them, we have a FICO model, which I will share with you in some time. Sorry, I didn't mention, but we have both the FOFO and the FICO model, which I will take you through in time. Now, What are we also giving as a bonus is a brand called Biryani Can, sorry, which we launched, around 1.5 year back. We started boosting it around 6 months back. We're selling 15 to 18,000 biryanis a month now, post boosting it. And this again is a pure veg brand. Okay, and from a flavor profile perspective, it is really very close to a biryani, and it's not like a pulao. It's a layered dum biryani, which is vegetarian that we are serving. We've got around 14 options, in veg biryanis, which again is a rare occurrence in the market today. So what are the big things? What are the key elements of Cheelizza that really the partner should look for when he's trying to associate with Cheelizza. One of the things that is not mentioned here, but I think is one of the biggest points, is that we have 25 stores of our own, which are our own investment. We are not going out into franchising with one or two stores under our belt, which typically a lot of businesses do, and they have not tested the brand in different geographies. But we have done that. We have already tried and tested it in Maharashtra, in Gujarat, in two cities in Gujarat and two cities in Maharashtra. So we have done that. We have done the litmus test, and now we're coming out. So yeah, we are an established brand now. As I said, 4.1 rating with more than 1.6 lakh reviews is something that we carry very proudly with us. The franchisee will get two brands at the price of one, which again is a bonus because the operations are also easy. So the consumer means the franchisee can easily get extra revenue through the same unit where he's paying rent. So rent per square feet, sorry, the income per square feet also increases due to that. It's a proven business model. We have been at it for 10 plus years, so we know that the model works. We have different opportunities, as I mentioned, a FOCO or a FOFO model. We have a strong team that has already delivered across geographies from training perspective and operations perspective, so we can give that support to a franchisee. All our ingredients, all our semi-processed ingredients are made to our recipe and are not off the shelf. So the flavor is definitely unique, which we see through our ratings. We give massive marketing and advertising support to the franchisee to build the sales. We also do a lot of product innovation, and we do it thematically, because the idea is that you go with the social trends. If the social trend is the IPL, then you launch three of our pizzas that are IPL themed, so that it becomes easier. Or like the World Cup is on right now, so we could do, we the last year we did entire range of pizzas that were based on the cricketing nations. So we do that on and off whenever we see the opportunity. We offer end-to-end setup and initial training to the franchisee to set up the business, and we will also provide ongoing support as and when required by the franchisee to ensure that the operations are great. Right, and the reviews I already told you. Now, pizza and biryani happen to be amongst the top five selling cuisines in India right now by Zomato and Swiggy statistics. So basically, they are amongst the top few, so they are there to stay and they are there to sell. And both these brands also offer Jain products, which very few brands are doing. So that Jain market is definitely a virgin market that a lot of people are not touching, but we are already servicing that. Now, basically, I'm also going to show you some images of the store. This is basically the brand and franchisee responsibility. Okay, which I think you guys can go through. It is very basic. We support with most of the stuff, but we are also flexible. Like if I have to give an example, equipment sourcing. Okay, we have our own suppliers. We have people who can provide the equipment at the best rate. But if the franchisee feels that he has a even better rate for the same equipment, we are happy to come together and rather start sourcing from his supplier, because the idea is to ensure that we are reducing our investment as much as possible. And same goes for the fit out, or for interior design. Okay, so all of that can be managed along with the franchisee basis his comfort, because they also will come with their set of expertise and local knowledge. So we will definitely leverage on that and try and build a better ecosystem than just a one-way kind of a communication. These are some images of the store that you can have a look at. This is our Pune outlet in Pimpri Chinchwad. This is what the interiors look like right now. We also have a food truck, and you can see the image over here. We also have a container model. So these are different models and different formats that we operate in. And we are open to supporting building any kind of a format depending on how the franchise area is and how he wants to build the business. Right. So that's that. Let me quickly take you through the financials. Just a second. Right. I hope my screen is visible to everyone. If I can get a confirmation, please.
Yes, yes.
Sandeep ji, is my screen visible?
Yes, yes, visible.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
sir. It's visible.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, just confirming that. So here we have put down three models, and typically we are more keen on the 750 square feet minimum. The 500 square feet is really for the metros and the big cities where the rentals are really expensive. What we are talking about is, we can assume the rent of around 1 lakh, 1 lakh 50, 2 lakh, depending on the size. The furniture, electricals, all those details are given here, but let me take you through the quick brief. So for a 500 square feet store, we're talking about a total investment of 38 lakhs 27,000. For a 750, 41 lakhs 65,000, and for 1,000 square feet, around 45 lakh 3,000. So these are the investments required. Now, how are the returns for the same? So if I had to put a number to it, we're talking about a cumulative ROI of 494% at the end of 5 years. And you can go through the details as you wish. This is a 1,000 square feet one, and ROI is around 137%. Uh, then we have the FOFO model for 750, where you have a ROI of 120 and a cumulative of 429%. Similarly, 500 square feet, it's around 326 and 106 respectively. So all the details are given here, where the capex is concerned, where the ROI is concerned, and this file will be available with you. I have just uploaded it on the group, and you can definitely download it and share it with the franchisee who's interested. We've also given the details of the equipment list, so that if there are any queries as to where is the 15.9 lakhs going, blah blah. So all of those details have already been mentioned. So this was completely about the FOFO model. Let me get into the FICO model now. So the FICO model is pretty straightforward. We are talking about an investment of 45 lakhs. That again will be variable basis the store. In the entire process, the franchisee will only pay us our franchise fees. The remaining amount will be paid to the vendors who are supplying the services or the products, right? So the equipment, etc., he will directly be paying the vendor. He will not be paying us. It is going to be like that even for FOFO or a FICO model. Yeah. In the FICO model, basically we are offering a minimum guarantee of 18% throughout the year, which typically is laid out over here, and you can have a look. That's the MG. The revenue share we are offering is around 12% of net sales, and that can end up giving our cumulative ROI around 320% over 5 years, right? And the cash flow is also being shared. So this is the FOFO and the FICO model, and we also have a area franchisee and a master franchisee opportunity. So master franchisee we can discuss case wise, and city, even for city franchisee, if there's an interest, then we'll get into the model. Is what my recommendation is. Okay, once we meet with the person, if they are interested in doing a bigger investment in the brand, right? So I can take any questions that are there now, Sandeep. I think I've taken, I've shared everything that I had to.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, LG. I think we'll have a lot of questions around the financials, is what
Yes.
I see. I also see a lot of our friends who have joined in have also put up questions. I'd like to take these questions live. And friends, by request, I think some of you have also shared your location, some of you already in the business of food. If you want to share more questions on the business model, if you already have a location, please share it in the Q&A box. I'll be happy to take these questions live for all of you at the same time, because this would take some time for both the sides to qualify. We need to understand your bandwidth. We need to understand the the qualifying criteria for Cheelizza. So based on the mutual understanding and how we need to take the discussion forward, I'll also request all our partners or prospects who are keen to move further. I request that we have a physical meeting. Ideally, it should happen at one of the locations in Bombay, so that you experience the product, you experience the the overall outlet, and also meet the management of Cheelizza. So quickly on, I would say on the business model and also on the opportunity, but I would say this is a very comparatively very unique opportunity. While there are a lot of pizza brands in the country, we have a lot of international brands, and the pizza market in India has grown to a very big size, and it is amongst the leading global markets in the world after US, Brazil, Russia. And today, India is considered to be the second largest market for some of the top international brands which are running in the country. So Cheelizza has been operating outlets largely in Maharashtra and Gujarat, and all these locations are owned and operated by the company. The company wanted to perfect their business model, their product, see the success of their business model, and only after that was ascertained, they have decided to go forward by appointing like-minded people who can become franchisees. There are two models, which is franchisee owned and franchisee operated, which is very, very simple, where a franchise partner would own the asset, would operate. So he makes the investment as per the format, and he would take also the returns on the investment and would pay a royalty to the company, which is, I think, about 5%, which I had made a note of. So 5% royalty goes in. And the other model is franchisee-owned company operated, which the franchisee would either have a minimum guarantee on the investment he has made, or he takes a revenue share on the overall sales. So either of the two, whichever is higher, the company would give to the franchisee. We'll get into more details of this as we move forward. And apart from Cheelizza, there's also another category, which is biryani, which is also integrated in the format of Cheelizza. Is that right? Ajay ji, or are we looking at a different model for the biryani brand? Because I saw some questions around both these formats.
Sure. Can I take each question, one by one, and I can answer?
I'll take these questions, Ajay ji. मैं लेती हूँ questions. And just to friends add, why I said this opportunity was unique, because we don't have any brand in the country in this category, which is serving vegetarian pizza. So Cheelizza has taken that space and doing it very, very successful in the markets, and even to the Jain community, which is very, very difficult, to get. They're servicing that community. So I'll take some questions. Ajay ji, my first question, I'll take some questions, try to club, because a lot of people have asked some questions, which would also can also be clubbed together. I'll on the franchisee-owned company operated model. So you mentioned an overall investment of 45 odd lakhs, where there's a component of franchise fee which goes to the the franchisor, which is you, and the other investments, which is into equipments or all the supplies which are required, would go to respective vendors. Now, this 45 lakhs would go into what kind of model? Do we have an understanding of the model that you want to take, or it could be any of the models from 500 to 1,000 square feet, or it could be any.
Yeah. So as I said, that the investment will depend on the location. So if it is a 750, the investment could drop. Okay. And the investment is always a ballpark number that we project. If the site has certain challenges or it has some benefits. For example, just stating it out there, let's say that we get a place which is already a restaurant.
Correct.
So the tiling of the wall is done. So I have to just fix the broken tiles.
Correct.
So the investment will drop. So this is the ballpark number that we have shared. Or let's say we get a site which is completely a showroom, and there is no kitchen partition. So I'll have to make an extra partition. So these are variables that will come in. It's a ballpark number that we are saying for 1,000 square feet store.
All right.
That makes points very clear. Yeah.
All right, that's helpful. Now, when we talk about various formats, 500 to 1,000 square feet, our offering in all these formats remain the same. It is only the covers that increase, correct? So obviously our sales would also increase. Our number of covers in the restaurant would increase, or there's a bigger offering. So if I talk about biryani, is this offering available in all the three formats, or we have limited that to a specific format?
So biryani will be available on the formats. There's no challenge on that. The menu stays the same. The reason we gave a 500 to 750 is so that let's say, for example, I'm going to Chandigarh and I'm going to the main market. Okay. I might not be able to afford, a rental of 3 lakhs, 3.5 lakhs. Okay. When I go to this size of a market. But is the market good? Yes, the market is good. Do I want to do business over there? Yes, I want to do business over there. But then the model will change, which is why we have put in all the variables per se, right? So the idea is that we look at the site and take the call of what the size of the restaurant is going to be. Okay, depending on how the model fits in, because the intention very highly is that the franchisee and we both end up making money. If we create
Absolutely.
models that don't make money, then it doesn't make sense for either of the parties.
Correct, correct.
I hope I
Ajay ji,
answered.
another question on the, because franchisee and operations are simple. When we talk about a FOCO model,
Hmm.
in whose books the asset sits in, because is he a pure investor, or the asset, the
No,
entire
the
asset?
assets will sit in his books, right? Because that's
Okay,
why I
the
mentioned he will
depreciation
pay
would
directly to
happen
the
in it.
vendor. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
He would own, so it is owned, right? So it is not
Yes,
investment,
yes, yes,
franchisee owned. He would own the asset.
yes, yes,
Depreciation
yes,
happens
yes,
in this book. Okay, in
yes,
his books. Now, on the minimum guarantee, this minimum guarantee is on the entire investment the franchisee would do. So if, say, we have a
yes,
45 lakhs of an outlay and 18% of that translates to about 8 lakhs, 10 odd thousand, right? So
yes,
that
yes,
becomes his
yes,
minimum guarantee, where we have
yes,
guaranteed the entire investment over a period of 5 years. And obviously the revenue share, whichever is higher. So just
correct,
to de-risk his downside, we have put a minimum guarantee clause. So even if the sales, for reasons, don't go maybe in the first, second month to a certain extent, he still get
right.
18% on that. Now, coming to the revenue share, Ajay, I'll also request if you can explain in all the three formats, what is the average revenue that we do? And
Right.
what is the split between the two cuisines? One is obviously biryani that we have added, and the other is our Cheelizza brand. So between the two, what is the average sales that we are considering for a 500, 750, and 1,000 square feet? And
Right.
what is the split of revenue between the two?
So if we consider a 500 square feet, we are assuming the sales to start with around 4.5 lakhs. Net sales I'm talking about, gross
Sure.
being 6 lakhs. Okay, and ending up with around 13 lakhs as the revenue by the 12th month.
Okay.
Okay, this is for the 500 square feet. For a 750, we are looking at around 5,70,000 as the first
Net.
month sale, ending up with approximately 16 lakhs as the sale by the 12th month.
Mhm.
Okay, for 1,000 square feet, it is 646, and it ends up with around 18 lakhs by the end of 12th month.
Helpful. And also to give some understanding to our viewers, our 25 locations which are running, which is the highest performing and typical, sales these outlets are doing, would also give us a reflection of what an investor can foresee happening at his location. If you want to share a location and say, this is one location I'm running, this is the model which I'm operating, and this is the kind of throughput that location does, it will help us to maybe, refer and get a better understanding.
Sure. So we have a store which is in Juhu, which is around 1,000 square feet, which currently does a revenue of anywhere between 18 to 22 lakhs,
Okay.
depending on the season.
Mhm.
So the average sale is around 20 lakhs, right?
Mhm.
And this store actually has the right split, which is around 30% of dine-in and 70% of delivery. So it draws a EBITDA of 18 to 20%, on a monthly basis. That is a typical dine-in store. Now, from a small store perspective, we have a small store in Mulund, which is less than 2 years actually. Okay,
Okay.
it is just 1 year old. It's around 370 square feet. It just has
All
two
right.
tables. Okay, so it's a very small format, mostly dependent on delivery. Now, what
Correct.
happens over there is that I'm profitable. I'm doing around 10% EBITDA, but my sales has reached around 8 lakh rupees
Okay.
because the size is small, and the dine-in is not there. But it still draws me some EBITDA because I've managed a good rental over there. So these are
Mhm.
two, completely contrasting models per se. And Bombay, especially if you consider, is really high on the real estate,
Correct.
from the per square feet perspective.
Right.
And I'll share a unique, means the most unique store, which was our mother store, which is our Mahavir Nagar store, which does a sale of 22 to 24 lakhs in a store size of 420 square feet. Okay, there's
420 square feet.
yes, yes. So what I'm trying to say is that these are models that are that are averaged out. okay, how each site performs, okay, is going to depend on what kind of footfall is there, what kind of market is there. Like Mahavir Nagar, I am bang on, Main Street, where there is a, eat street. We call it the cow gully, okay, where everyone is coming just to eat. People are just roaming around. So I can easily score my takeaway sales and my dine-in sales. I hardly have 3 tables over there, okay, and people stand and eat. People are okay standing and eating because there's a culture over there, okay. Similarly, when you take it to a Juhu, the game is very different. People want to come, people want to sit, people want to eat. The amount of people walking by are not much, but people who come only to dine in are much higher. Similarly, if you compare to a Mulund, we are on the first floor. We are not the most visible store, okay, but we are profitable there because we have managed great rentals over there to balance the P&L out. So as I'm saying that there won't be a fixed sale for a fixed site, but this is a ballpark number that it can easily achieve.
Great. That's very helpful. And friends, just to maybe quantify, between your minimum guarantee and revenue share, if we take a minimum guarantee of 45 lakhs, it translates to about 8 lakhs, 10,000 annually. On the other side, the revenue share is 12%. So if we consider an outlet making an average sales of say 8 lakhs and, optimizing to about 12 odd lakhs at the end of the year. So even if we consider 8 lakhs throughout the year, what a franchisee gets is almost about 11.5 lakhs of revenue share on the net sales, which is very, very attractive. And looking at that figure, your return on the investment is almost about 3.5 odd years. So in this case, the company has completely de-risked you. They're giving minimum guarantee, and they also are giving a revenue share, whichever is higher comes to a franchisee. Helpful. Ajay, I'll take some questions. I see some questions from the audience. But before that, quickly, on the food economics, because you talked about rentals, we've seen the royalty for 5%. Now, when we talk about unit economics of an outlet, what is your guidance on typical rentals? Say, so if my sale is 100 rupees, so 5% goes towards royalty, right? Then I have a food cost. What percentage am I considering for food cost? How much of utility expenditure am I considering? Then there's an occupancy cost. I think in the business of food, there are two important costs which needs a very big control. One is the occupancy cost and the other is a food cost. So in case your occupancy cost is higher, it should be proportionate to the sales or the throughput. There are locations which have higher rentals, but proportionately, these locations also do a higher throughput. Like I think Juhu location, there's some other location which Ajay mentioned, they might be higher on rental. But if you look at the throughput, these locations also give a great throughput. So some guidance, Ajay, if you can share with us. So that will help us in understanding what kind of locations we get in. So maybe the percentage towards food cost, utility, royalty, occupancy, and the salary manpower all put together, and a bifurcation of that.
Right. So food cost you're talking of around 40% is the food cost. Okay. From your rental perspective, we should manage the rent within anywhere between 8 to 12% at an average.
Okay.
Okay, of the sale.
So just give me an example of Juhu, because Juhu is one of the most, I'm sure this is an expensive locations. We have a bigger area. So how much of
no, but we got lucky. So that's what, so you have to steal deals. That is how the market is. If you can get the occupancy cost down, your profitability grows phenomenally. So I'm hardly paying 1.25 lakhs for a rental of 1,000 square feet in Juhu, which right now also means anytime you try, you'll not get it.
No.
I have a 700 square feet in Vashi where we are paying 70,000. So you have to go out in the market and really scout for the location, and we'll support the franchisee in that, because we do not give inflated rentals. We lose the sites if required, but we don't take inflated rentals. So our target is to keep it between 8 and 12%, of our average sales that we will hit within a year.
Okay. And which are the markets, Ajay? Because currently we are present in Pune, we are there in Bombay. We are in about 4 cities, I think you mentioned, in Gujarat, including Rajkot. So what is the focus for us? Which markets are we currently focusing? Are we looking at focusing only these markets, which is going deeper in Maharashtra, going deeper in Gujarat? Or are we looking at other cities also?
So Sonia, we are right now ready to support, a franchise across the country overall. Okay, we don't have a challenge around that. If we had a choice, we would definitely prefer the Western Maharashtra, or rather the Western India belt, which includes, Maharashtra, Gujarat, Rajasthan, Haryana, going upwards, going towards the north. The reason also being that it's a more vegetarian, market per se, right? The rest of the areas also we are interested, but we would like to go a little slower there, because the chances of success seem to be very, rather it's the lower hanging fruit, if I may say. If you work towards a Rajasthan or a Gujarat or even Haryana or go that for that matter Delhi, going this belt is or MP UP also. There's a strong vegetarian market. So we are happy to explore these areas. We're also happy to explore Bangalore, and going down southwards. But if you look at the census, actually the south, the deep south, and the far east are the least vegetarian markets if you see from a eating habit perspective. So these are not going to be our preferred locations. But there is one thing that we would definitely appreciate, that if you are doing a far away area from Mumbai or from Maharashtra, then we would like to do a area franchise or a master franchise kind of a deal, purely because the economics will work for both the business, both the brands, both the businesses, right? From an economic perspective. Operationally, it's not a challenge, but if we had to really do it, and we had to do, let's say, one FOCO unit, if you tell me to do in Delhi, I'll say, no, ma'am, it doesn't make sense for me. Because, for one unit, I'll set up a entire ecosystem, which will be there, and there will be no local support as such, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
That's helpful. Now, this brings me to another question, because we are offering two models, FOCO and franchisee operated. What locations are we looking to do franchisee and company operations? Because Delhi, of course, we don't currently have, our operations. It is difficult to support operations outside the city we are present in. So if we have to discuss franchisee and company operated, are we restricting that to only Maharashtra and Gujarat?
So as I said, we are not restricting it. We are putting a caveat. What I'm saying is, if I want to do a FOCO, let's say in Delhi, for example, if I have 5 units, I will do a FOCO. I don't have a problem.
So at this stage, we can comfortably say, so Maharashtra and Gujarat would be a priority for franchisee and company operated. And in the course of time, when we have more locations which are opening up outside these states, it becomes logical to support or, be able to support a company operations in regions. Helpful. Can I request, I see Sophia Gandhi ji, I think you've been raising your hand for quite some time. I request you can put your questions. I'll quickly take up the questions. Okay, I have a question from one of our friends, Mr. Manish Shah. He says that he has a restaurant set up in Lower Parel, which is almost about 3,300 square feet of space next to Palladium Mall. And if possible, can we start soon? Because I think, Manishi, I don't know how much area you have. You can 3,300 is something which I think he can take some part of the 3,300 space and give it to Cheelizza, and this can be a quick starter. Ajay, your thoughts on this?
Sure, we can connect offline and understand the opportunity, because there will be rentals included. There will be more caveats, more variables that we'll have to consider. So happy to take this discussion forward. Though we already are there in Lower Parel, we have a delivery centric outlet already, which is a visible takeaway store already. So
and how far is that from Palladium? How far would that be?
Honestly, around 5-10 minutes walking, worst case.
Okay.
Yeah.
Manishi, let's get on a call. We have, in fact, our Bombay team, Sharad, who is handling this region, and we also have Azaz, who's handling the brand. I'll ask them to speak to you, and in fact, after the webinar, we can connect. I see one of our friends, Urvesh Jain. Are you okay? His question is, are you also okay to have franchise outlets in the same cities where you already have existing ones?
Yes.
So obviously Bombay is very big. It can accommodate maybe twice of what the numbers are today. But going to other cities, Ajay, if you want to suggest, if we can add more, I think there's a lot of room available for us to add and create a bigger cluster and deeper penetration in even cities where present. We might not be covering, but your thoughts would be.
Yes. Sonia, just a quick answer to that. Just adding on to your answer. See, we would definitely not mind having more franchise outlets in the cities that we are present, but we will put a caveat of around 7 kilometers, at least 5 to 7 kilometers away from an existing store. And the reason is very simple. We don't want to just, break the same pie and, have 2 operating units.
Because it cannibalizes the business, will not do any good to the partner, neither to the
brand. So we are happy to do it as long as the distance is maintained of 7 to 8 kilometers. Yeah.
Okay, now I have a question from Mr. Sanjay Bakshi. The tagline "acquire one bonus brand in the same price" means Cheelizza and biryani can in INR 45 lakhs, or the price for biryani can is also it's one, Sanjay ji. So 45 lakhs includes both the brands.
Biryani can, yes.
But the branding that we put outside, is that of Cheelizza, or we put both the brands?
So we put a very small, creative of biryani can. I had showed the images. I think people might have missed it. I'll quickly show it.
And these are
it's
prepared, Ajay? These are what form are biryani sent to the outlets? They're all centralized?
yes. I'll take you through the process. Let me just quickly share what does it look like, so it becomes more related for
Sure.
the team. Yeah. So if you notice here, what we have is the main signage is Cheelizza.
Mhm.
We put pure veg out there. We cried out loud. And if you notice, there's a small pop-up kind of a lollipop kind of a biryani can logo that has been put on the right hand side. Depending on how the site is, this will be put outside so that the driver can identify where to come. Now, if you come
Mhm.
to a Cheelizza store, you will receive two menus. You'll receive a biryani can menu and you'll receive a Cheelizza menu. So it's your call. If there is someone there's a lot of time that parents come with children, but they are not keen on having the pizza, and that happens quite often, to be honest, because
Mhm.
pizza is what children drive drag their parents along. So we get the biryani can also sold in the store without any challenges. So that is the way biryani can is really promoted, and mostly it's on delivery. On delivery, they are listed separately. They are not listed as the same entity. So Swiggy or Zomato for that matter.
All right, helpful.
Right.
I'll take very quickly another question from Mr. Rohit Agarwal. We are seeing you are coming for a Hyderabad. We have an outlet as an outlet partner. I didn't understand, Rohitji, what your question is. I think maybe he's asking if you're coming to Hyderabad. Is Hyderabad
Mhm.
open? Rohitji, if you can just explain your question. I couldn't understand much. He says we are seeing you are coming for a Hyderabad. We have an outlet as a outlet partner. I didn't get that, Uma. Uh, okay. I'll take another question from Mr. Kulkarni. Can you please elaborate, Kulkarni ji? I think we already elaborated. 18% minimum guarantee is including the entire investment. Ajay ji, it includes the franchise fee component also, right? It's 5
Yes,
lakhs.
yes.
So entire investment that goes in the capex, supplies, all put together is minimum guarantee the company pays you on. All right. Okay. Now the question is also on 24/7 operations. Are we doing any such locations? Are we open to doing any such locations? Because you need a separate license to run. But Manishi, to my mind, 24/7 locations ideally has to be based on what location are you opening up. And sometimes these locations don't make sense because you have a cost of, you know,
Operating.
putting the resources, and sometimes the throughput is not so much and it is not wise sometimes. But if there's a location that we think would have enough traffic for 24/7, definitely, I think that can be discussed. Also, is there
Currently, the
any
operation is also pretty long, by the way, Sonia. We are 11 o'clock in the morning to 3 o'clock in the morning. So these
Okay,
are the operating times. Yeah. So we
wonderful.
are already operating late night because we have a decent late night chart. Just putting
Okay,
it out there so everyone knows.
all right. That's helpful. Okay, I see a question. Is there any option to limit the menu options to only Jain? If so, we would like to do it in Indore.
Mm, See,
We
I
cannot
would
do
not
that.
recommend that.
Yes.
Even with putting everything out there, sir, we are right now at around 7% of contribution from Jain consumers
Correct.
in Mumbai. Now, if the population is great, we can start with a full menu and bring it down to a Jain menu if it works. If it can occupy 80% of the revenue and that
Correct.
revenue is sizable, then we can definitely do it. It's business. But to start off with only Jain might not be the best way to set up for success.
And
My
also
opinion.
might not be financially viable, Urvashi, but let's speak after this call. We definitely would like to speak to you.
Yes.
Can we go for second floor in franchisee owned company operated model? Is rent paid by the company in this model is a question.
Yes, the rent is paid by the company. And whether first floor, second floor, third floor, sir, we'll look at the location and take a call.
Correct. Because
We are
there are
not
certain hubs where
confirmed.
food is operating, especially if you look at
Yes.
the malls, the food area is on the top and you don't get it on the ground. But definitely we'll be happy to discuss that. And the
Definitely.
entire operating cost is on you, right? So for all
Yes.
FOCO, the salary to the rental to the food cost, all
Everything
is
is mine.
taken
Yes.
care. And the franchisee gets a visibility on the sales and a
Yes.
percentage of that he gets on a monthly basis. I have a question
Definitely.
from Mr. Mihir Panchal. Can you also please highlight on the financial for stores in Rajkot and Baroda? Okay, because he's from Baroda, Gujarat, I think
Sure.
the two locations, yes.
Yeah. So Vadodara is doing a average sale of between 8 to 12 lakhs. Okay. And Rajkot is doing a sale of around 12 to 14 lakhs
Okay,
monthly. Yeah.
helpful. All right. Karnataka, Bangalore. I have a question. Are we keen to do FOCO in these locations like Bangalore? Because we don't have any presence there, Balaji. So maybe at this point in time, no. But once we have certain number of stores operating, it can be considered. But we are
No,
good
actually,
for
see, that's what I'm saying. You know, if there's an area franchise, for example, that's what I'm putting out, Sonia. That if there is someone who wants to make an area franchisee and is wanting to invest in 10 stores overall, then we're happy to do it. You know, I have the economies of scale. That's the point. Yeah. So
wonderful.
it's not a
Okay,
no, but it is not a single unit game. Yeah.
sure. Helpful. And now when it comes to area franchisee, I also want to know what would be, so typically when an area franchisee friends, comes on board, he would have sources of income, which includes sharing of royalties, which includes sharing of franchise fees and some overriding on the overall supplies, right? So is there
Yes.
a requirement for also putting up a centralized kitchen? There is
No.
no requirement. So that investment goes off. Just wanted
Yes.
to clear that. Now I have a question from, all right, Kevalji, I think you have, you mentioned that you have a location in Surat. We are open for Surat. It's a very great market for the product, and 900 square feet definitely fits our bill. We'll be happy to discuss with you. Please say how to open this. Can we get on a call with you, Kevalji, after the webinar? And maybe discuss it in length. Definitely, whatever information you have shared, we'll be happy to discuss further. I see Mr. Naresh. I was just reading the question. Somebody has answered that. Wait, I'll take that up. That was a long question I think he had put. Please answer the minimum maximum investment for Amritsar, Punjab city, or a small city like Dinanagar. So Naresh, if you look at the investment would not largely change because the cost of equipment, the franchise fee, irrespective of what location you're opening, would pretty much remain the same. Only a very small component of maybe your civil work that you're doing or the labor cost that goes in is the difference that you can make. But otherwise, there is no substantial difference in the investment that you would make, because typically all these investments are largely going into things which will not change based on the tier of the city that you get in. The only thing that would change is the rental. Maybe in a smaller city, your rentals are low, your deposit would be low. All right, but we are happy to discuss with you. Okay, I have a question from, how many outlets in Pune city currently, is a question from
5.
Jay Ramdasi. Yes, 5. Okay, helpful. I want your franchise. Send your details. Sure, Kevalji, I think we should speak. I think post this webinar to everybody who's interested, we'll share the entire financial working. One of our team members from the city where you are would reach out to you. And we'll also speak to Mr. Ajay, seek his time, your time, and we'll get you on a call. My request would be if we can have a physical meeting post the call. All right, we'll send you the information, Mr. Keval. The location is Mota, Varsha, Surat, Gujarat. Wonderful. Thank you. Is biryani pure veg or it's vegetarian? Everything
Pure
in
veg.
the outlet is vegetarian. Currently, how many outlets are there? And we have already answered that. Please explain more about both product, pizza and biryani. I think we'll be happy to share the menu. Actually, we have the menu. Can we put that on the screen
Yes.
for our
Yes. Give me a
friends who
second.
want
Yeah.
to
Yeah. I'll do
maybe
that.
look at that?
Yeah.
All right. And how are they different to other market offering? Okay, wonderful. So great. I think I'm seeing a lot of questions, friends, and thank you for the interest that you've put in. And we're happy to communicate with you. It's an important decision for you and equally for the company. And it is important that you clarify your doubts, get in comfort of the relationship that you're getting in, which definitely requires a physical meeting. I'll quickly see if we have missed out any questions. I have already set up. Okay. Great. I think I see a lot of questions still, but largely I think we've covered all the important questions. And friends, if you need more understanding, in-depth understanding of the financials, location which you currently have, we'll be happy to do a Reiki and suggest if these locations are viable for us to move ahead. Naveen ji, can I request you to please write your question? And I think there's somebody else also I see who's raised their hand. So I see Naveen ji and Keval ji. If you have more questions, please write in. I'll take these questions right now. And as you do that, I'll also request Ajay, if you want to give a final message to everybody who's listening live. And guys, we'll also share our email ID. We'll also share our hotline number. You can reach out to us. I think Sandeep has already done that. Yeah, he's already done that. It's 9717683838. And our email is feedback@franchiseindia.in. We are working closely with the entire team of Cheelizza and our teams of Franchise India across India, specifically in the teams based out of Pune, based out of Bombay and Ahmedabad, are handling the larger regions where we're looking to focus. And our leaders and their respective account heads working on the project would reach out to you today itself. And I will also request, if you are not able to get a call from us, you can write WhatsApp on this number and email. This directly comes to us, and we get a real-time view if there's any gap. Ajayji, over to you if you want to, say some last words and message to wrap up this webinar.
Sure,
Kevalji,
So
we can look for okay, his question is, can we look for a area franchisee for Surat? I don't know because
with pleasure.
we can.
Yes, definitely.
Great, Kevalji, helpful.
Looking forward to that.
Hanji, Ajayji, please.
Yeah. So I'll just quickly also share the menu because someone had requested
Hanji,
for that.
please do
Yeah,
that.
just a second. So this is our menu. We start with a price point of 79 and we go up to approximately 800 rupees, including taxes. So it's a wide range of products per se. In biryani,
We lost your connection. Since you can see the menu on the screen, we will also be happy to share it with you.
Yeah, so you can always have a look at Swiggy and Zomato. You'll also see the offers that we are giving to the consumers. Since there's an interest in the brand. So all that I would like to say is that we're looking forward to partner with people who believe in selling great food, great quality, and building a good business along with it. So thank you for your time, everyone. Really appreciate you making time for going through the entire brand. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, friends. Sandeep, over to you for your concluding remarks.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ajay. Thank you, Cheelizza, for being the panelist, and thank you, Sonia, ma'am, so much for your valuable inputs and taking care of all the questionnaires. We'll again come back tomorrow with another business opportunity right at 12 p.m. Till then, stay tuned. Thank you.